Disclaimer! Do not harass the person that is in the subject of this video. This video is not intended to be a mean video in any way. I am talking about my personal friend and some drama that happened in regard to him and him being exposed for being a massive piece of shit allegedly, but also not allegedly because there is no proof. But anyways, we will get to that. Please.
Wait. There doesn't have to be proof for it to be allegedly.
Enjoy. Grab a bag of popcorn. Do not harass anyone. This is entertainment. It's fucking YouTube. It's not that serious. When people get fired from their job, it's understandable that they might be angry, or there could be some sadness associated with the leaving of that experience. For example, being fired
on
can
top.
be embarrassing.
On top.
I've never been fired, but I did quit on short notice without tendering my 2-week resignation, and I burnt a bunch of bridges and fucked myself over when I had a real job, an actual real job, and that was embarrassing. But luckily, I have recovered. This can be exponentially worse when fired from a prominent or well-known YouTube channel. That's right.
Wait, IRL? That's actually crazy.
YouTube channels have employees to help make content. For example, I have a whole bunch of employees. We have 4 editors that are always busting ass. Sometimes I release them from their cages, but that's rare. We've got researchers, writers, thumbnail guys, and on top of that, I specifically have a candy business that I also run. So it is no longer possible for me to do all the YouTube shit on my own.
This guy.
This is the case
all right,
for many
Texia.
creators that are my friends.
Okay. Tex says goodnight, but in 4 hours, I'm gonna see him on Discord playing fucking some game. So, like, I'm tired of you lying to me. Keep it real. You be lying too much.
Specifically in the case of this video, Mr. Beast. No, I'm just kidding. MeatCanyon.
25 cents is all it takes.
His videos are so creepy.
For what? Another one of your loser projects?
No. To see God.
It involves another YouTuber with 952,000 subscribers.
I'll really press up on you, dope. I'll really press up on you, dope.
I'm recording this, named Miss Breezy.
Does anybody want to go do a group enema?
What? Like low-key, though?
Miss Breezy recently live streamed to her channel talking about a situation regarding her release from employment from Papa Meat, or his Papa Meat YouTube channel, MeatCanyon. Hunter, my friend.
Welcome back to the Papa Meat channel. How you doing? How you doing? And happy holidays to
everybody.
Even if you're not, you know, maybe you're one of those people who's like, I don't like the holidays because me and my dad don't get along.
Papa Meat is Hunter's second channel. By the way, I'm going to try to be as unbiased and rational in the summarization and breakdown of the events and claims of Miss Breezy that have resulted from this situation. And I feel that it's necessary to be transparent that I do have a close friendship with Hunter, my friend, who did in fact talk to me about this before.
Lacey, what's up, dope?
Miss Breezy went live on her channel and had a bit of a tell-all. In the stream, she talks about her experience working with MeatCanyon. It's nearly
Harris is here, Lacey.
long, so of course I'm not going to be going over everything that she says. One thing that I'm able to notice very early on about this is how back and forth Breezy is about Meat and Meat's team. Very early, there are holes in spite of my unbiased rational nature. In one sentence,
he said it's his friend,
she doesn't want to burn any bridges.
Not sure.
Don't shoot the messenger type shit.
Try to burn bridges or this or that.
And then in another sentence, she says she doesn't care how the Meat crew retaliates.
Because, like, again, I'm not really afraid of retaliation. If the Meat crew wants to send their fucking army, they're more than welcome. They can come destroy me. They can come pound my little pussy. I don't care.
Wait, what?
My brie.
So what did Miss Breezy do for MeatCanyon? She was an editor for Meat. She started editing in August, and that lasted until the start of December.
I was an editor from like August to
It'd be like that.
the start of December. So
it's about a 3-month window. She was a full-time editor for the Papa Meat channel. If you don't know the Papa Meat channel, I already kind of showed it. The edits are good. They're solid. There's a lot of work in all those videos. Those videos are very impressive.
I don't know.
Another Black Friday
was that a... I don't know.
Did you get all the things you wanted?
Biological female or not?
Did you? Did you wait?
Is that how... Did I say it right?
This game.
Did I say it in the woke way?
You're not ready for it.
Hours outside of a...
All right, Lacey, you need to chill out. Is it sis? Oh. Well, no, but, like, it might have... never mind.
Biological
business to open up, so you can
It
get
might have been
$2
something else.
off a video game.
And the editing is second to none to my own editing.
I'm just digging myself a hole now.
Squeaky, Curry, Hawk, and Tara. Tara, the queen of YouTube. Immediately, Miss Breezy admits
who's the
that she
queen of
was
YouTube?
not the perfect employee and that she had faults.
And I'm not trying to say either that like I was a perfect employee, because I mean I obviously had a few faults, quite a few faults this past, like I want to say October, November. It was really perpetuated.
One big example she gives is that she had an issue with sobriety. She fell off
She
a
said
wagon,
good.
tried to hide it.
Some of it was like a sobriety issue.
On
and
whose
I don't
part?
really want to go into details with it because it kind of came on from like really shitty things that happened.
Yeah,
Then
sure.
She started sleeping in really
There's
late,
always
and
excuses.
so videos that she was editing were being sent really late.
You know, I would sleep in like really late, and so then they were getting videos really late. But I had only ever missed one deadline prior to being fired.
Now, I don't want to throw my own editors under the bus. But
I
that happens.
won't spit
just
that much.
kinda
It's just-
happens when you're doing
Okay,
something
buddy.
creative on top of, you know, whatever problems the editor
I
themselves
won't
may
spit that
have.
much. It'll
Tough to
just
get
be,
a timeline and a turnaround
for,
for
like, the
something
first
that is
5 minutes.
so multifaceted and so random and just so creative and so off the cuff. Like, it's not well planned. None of this stuff
with
is
weird
fucking
key
well
stuff.
planned.
Yeah,
So
he
it's
is.
fair. You know, sometimes it can go in late. But that's just beside the point in regard to what Miss Breezy's saying about having an issue with sobriety and sleeping in late. That's, you know, an actual real sort of excuse that she has that doesn't necessarily apply. I'm just giving other excuses from the perspective of someone who has a team of editors. Breezy says that Meat
Was
and
that
the
off
crew
screen?
were very lenient and they didn't want to overload her with work.
Yeah, so he made it seem like, you know, we don't want to stress
Okay.
you out. Like, just let us know what's happening in a given week. You know, we don't want to like torture you with work and everything. And it seemed like a pretty good deal. And everyone was really, really nice for the first couple months.
Sure.
And that was until she was supposed to work on the Goosebumps video.
Today we're going to be starting off our spooky season. I know we're a little late, but we're going to be starting now. And we're going to be talking about Goosebumps.
She explains that she had about a week to turn the video around. She got it on a Sunday and needed to get it done on a Saturday.
So the Goosebumps.
I feel like, well, I mean, I don't know how to edit and stuff. I don't even know what her job is, but like, I feel like a week is a good amount of time to edit a video. You know? But then again, I don't know how to edit at all, so I might just be like talking out of my ass. Well, I am talking out of my ass, but I feel like if you have a week to edit a video, that's seems pretty long. I don't know.
Video is going up Saturday, just to give you guys an idea. So you know, here's Saturday over here.
Yeah, right there.
And this is the Sunday here. And I'm being told, hey, we're sending you footage tomorrow. So I'm getting footage for
Okay.
the Goosebumps video. I might have gotten it that day or the next day, maybe even the day before, but I'm pretty sure it was on Sunday.
She says on the Sunday she got it. It was her birthday. She went out to a concert and she got
So that Sunday was my birthday, and I had gotten root at a concert that we had
Whoa,
gone
wait,
to.
what?
So I had a really, really rough
Well,
recovery from that.
Now this affected her pretty harshly, and that's so fucked up. That's terrible. It was
It
bad
is.
for her. Getting is very, very, very bad. And I
Yeah.
cannot even imagine what the fuck is wrong
they're saying that she got drugged, basically.
with people to want to do that to someone. That is so just absurd. The medic said she was going to be okay, but she went home and did a lot of vomiting, but eventually recovered.
And did a lot of puking. A lot of drinking water. And I eventually recovered, but obviously, as you can imagine, you know, a day after being rooted, you're not feeling fantastic.
There was also another video
I can
her
imagine.
post that Wednesday about weddings, which was taken from
Because I didn't believe you. And you're wrong.
her and given to someone else on the team, and she was pretty upset about that.
I was supposed to be editing this wedding video. I had written up a document about weird weddings, and generally they would say like, hey, if you wrote the document, you'll also
Bro, Lacey, you stay capping for real. You lie like more than you're honest.
in the video because you know the source material better. So I was really looking forward to it, and I got super prepared to edit this wedding video. And then last minute,
But you've been showing up, and you said you would, so you were honest about that, which is awesome. Yeah, for real.
on the day like I'm recovering, they're like, hey, we're handing this video off to somebody else.
Maybe they handed it off because they didn't want her to get overworked again. She already said that. Maybe it was because she got fucking root. Or maybe they even had someone else on the team who just wanted to work on it for some other reason. Who knows? It doesn't really matter. Now, whatever the
Did
reason
he just say risen? Dang.
it was taken from her, she did not react well to the news that it was going to someone else. It made her lose her temper.
I wasn't like, "Bah, bah, 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 screw you," but I was just like, well, whatever video I'm editing next better not be stupid like the fucking Blueface video.
Fair, valid. I don't fucking
Well-
care about Blueface or Christian fucking Rock. If I
Right.
could Thanos snap him out of existence, I would.
That's a little much, buddy. That's kind of, you're doing too much there.
I hope they both get tummy aches. Now, this part
Okay,
of her
that's fair.
response or expose is when she starts giving a lot of reasons as to why she was unproductive over the next week or so. She was still recovering from being valid.
Even though I'm like coming back to earth from having been drugged, like
Right.
it wasn't late still. Like I got it to them on time and everything.
She was getting medical checkups to make sure she was fine. Valid.
There are just things going in the background, like checks that I have to do, medical and whatnot.
She was dealing with a death in the family. Also valid. That's a lot of things that are valid excuses.
That's true. She could have just been like, I can't do it this week. But let's see what's going on.
Other not great stuff going on in the family. I think that a funeral was being held that week for one family member, which I didn't personally go to because I wasn't like that close to this person, but I had to wait on some stuff because I was waiting to do some things for my parents.
Although, admittedly, it was not someone she was close to, but she was helping her parents with that sort of stuff during the time. She also lost her childhood dog. Yet another valid excuse. This is a terrible week, it sounds like.
Right after that same week, my childhood dog passed away. I don't know if any of you who remember any super old videos, if you remember Jazzy.
I don't.
She passed
I've never
away
seen you
that
before.
week right after the 13th of October.
So plenty of reasons for her work to be impeded, but she was finally able to get a bunch of stuff done by grinding over a few
That's
days.
right.
And then she got sick on top of everything else.
And Thursday night, me and the head editor, we are literally up all night editing this video. Like I'm editing it from like noon on Wednesday all the way till 9 a.m. noon on Thursday all the way to 9 a.m. like Friday. And I'm like, dude, I need sleep. I'm literally sick because my immune system was like messed up from that. So I caught a cold that week. I remember that now.
And this is when the devil himself, Satan, Hunter, aka Papa Me.
Don't keep yourself in the dark like this guy. Lumen. Brilliant men's
Let's hear.
skincare solutions.
Let's hear what goes on.
Said how disappointed he was in her for how long it's taken, and he was frustrated that the due date was missed.
He comes to me and he's like, hey, like, this is really disappointing that it's taking this long. And I try to explain the circumstances. And this is Papa Meat talking to me, a hunter. And he's like, I know, I'm just really frustrated that, you know, we set a due date. Like, we gave you all of this stuff, and it's not done. Like, I don't, like, just communicate with us, like, what
Yeah,
can we
just
do to help?
just
And I was like,
communicate.
I don't know, like, this is
Yeah.
all kind of
Just like Fomu said.
developing this week. But they kind of sort of let it go at that point, but I stopped hearing from Hunter entirely.
You know, this is the only video that she missed the due date for the deadline of. Unless we hear
Wow.
more from Hunter,
Can't even
I'm not
make
really
one
sure.
mistake?
Maybe he will reveal more about the situation. I don't know. She then talks about this is when she started to feel very isolated from the team.
When I was first hired, like, Hunter would love just kind of like having chats with me and normal conversation, and I'm a talkative person, so I send long messages, and I know some people just aren't like that, but
Yeah.
he would still just kind of like, he'd share music and shit with me. Like, we would kind of just like, you know, haha, funny,
Yeah.
acquaintance type of relationship.
Uh-huh.
But after I had missed a deadline because of all this bullshit, I don't hear from him anymore.
After the due date was missed, Hunter didn't talk to her at all. She had to communicate with Hunter through Nick, Hunter's right-hand man. I know Nick. Very good guy as well. The feeling of isolation apparently...
So, did she attempt to hit up Hunter or what? Or did she just like not? I'm confused.
took a toll on her work ethic, which was not a great combination with her sobriety issue and also depression and also being sick and also being... You know,
Yeah, but aren't we all depressed and sick and anxiety? Or is that just me?
death in the family, and also the sick dog. I don't know if I forgot anything.
And I started to like get really isolated because you're like, you know, when you're in this team, it's not like you're part of a team. You're more just kind of the person that they dump a bunch of shit on and they expect a final product.
Oh, I
As
hate
a
being that
client,
guy.
You know, whatever. I'm a contractor. I'm not complaining that much. It's just like editing's a very isolating job.
And by the way, I don't want to discredit any of this stuff. I don't know how people handle specific things like this, and I understand how things can pile on and affect people, especially people with issues that they're dealing with. But I can also see where this is going, to be honest. I'm also a realist.
we
It's
going through it.
business, man.
What do you mean, everybody?
She talks about this is when she noticed a personality shift.
But then, like, I also saw this, like, personality shift in the recordings, too. You know, this kind of weird invincibility complex that YouTubers start to get. And I've been in the industry for a very, very long time. Longer than these little babies have. All right.
Wait, what babies? Who's a baby? Who is she claiming is a baby?
Oh, the big names.
I need to know.
Up until, like, 2017. So I know how these people are. And I can kind of see it when they start to do that sort of turn.
This is all speculation, though.
I can do whatever I want. And that scares me. I hate that.
She says that Hunter developed an invincibility
Wait, what?
complex, which she says a lot of YouTubers-
Pile? Yeah.
I don't know exactly what this means, the invincibility concept. I don't know if maybe she just is no longer feeling like she's friends with the person she's working for, and the honeymoon period or whatever is over, and now there's some interactions
yeah.
we've had
That makes
tainted her
sense.
view of him and his team, and she just doesn't like her job. I don't really understand what this is supposed to mean. Then the topic shifts to compensation and how she's unhappy
like
with
for real, like how is she gonna say, oh, he started to get this superiority complex? Like that is really nothing, because you're not a psychiatrist or a therapist. You can't really, you know, we don't know. Did he change or did you change? Who changed? Did you both change?
compensation that she gets for working with the MeatCanyon team. She says that she's taking home 1/12 of the profits of the video, but doesn't give a shit as long as she's living comfortably.
I'm still only taking home probably like a 1/12 of the profits that they get from the video. And that's fine with me. I don't really give a shit. Just as long as I'm being paid to live comfortably, which I wasn't, I was still scraping by.
She didn't claim she was promised a certain amount of money, but was making $1,000 below that because she wasn't being assigned enough work.
I was initially promised a certain amount of money per month, and I was basically getting paid $1,000 less than that because they weren't sending me enough, like, stuff.
She then says that she asks for an increase in compensation, and
Well, they're not sending you enough stuff, so it sounds to me like they are being fair and giving you enough time to do everything. If they're only sending you, like, you know what I mean? Like, they're giving you enough time to do stuff.
is told that he cannot afford that. And then she says that she knows that's bullshit.
But I know how much they're making, and eventually I want to make more, at least from editing, if you're not going to pay me for documents. And he tries to pull, like,
Thank
the
you.
whole, like, oh, like, but I really can't afford it. At the
Oh,
moment.
yeah, I'm getting
Like,
sick, guys. I'm probably going to be sick tomorrow. I felt it this morning. So I'm probably going to be sick tomorrow. Hopefully I'm not too sick to stream, but I think I'm going to be sick tomorrow, unfortunately.
I know this is... bullshit.
Not that she's disappointed or thinks that it's bullshit, but she knows his finances and the workings of his business and how many billions of dollars he makes or whatever.
Wait,
His business
billions?
says that
No.
She was making $850 a video, which that is really good, by
Yeah.
the way.
And I would get paid $850 a video, which is not a bad rate.
That's decent.
I'm okay with that, but I'm
Yeah.
okay. This is really showing now, like, the quality of the work that I'm putting here. And I know a lot of it's the thumbnail and the, you know, clickbait title, but I'm still, like, it's showing that
Well,
the
yeah.
channel is going to grow.
Well, yeah, but also too, I hate those game ads. But also too, as you continue to edit, you're gonna get better at editing, so the quality's gonna get better. But yeah, I mean, should you be compensated more? Probably.
That's a lot of money per video. She says that she was struggling to sustain her livelihood with this and asked for a raise.
She's an
if she
editor,
could
I
keep
believe.
Providing this level of quality and dedicating this much time to his channel. It is at this point she notices a new editor was added to the Discord.
So I think that
Uh-oh.
if I'm going to be spending this much time keeping this quality, I'm going to need to be paid more. After I bring this up, I see they add another editor to the Discord. You know where this is going.
Just to be clear, by the way, $850 for a video, that is a ridiculous amount of money for a video that is just edited. I assume this also includes her writing and scripting and kind of the other work she
so she does more than just editing. Okay, so she's okay.
did in on these individual videos. I don't know how Hunter's team works, but with my team, we have writers, researchers, thumbnail guy, and then also 4 editors that basically hand off different videos to each other. They're all paid salary. So we try to prevent any one editor from being overworked at any one time, or, you know, we'll make sacrifices in quality for specific videos, for turnarounds. There's a lot that goes into it. It's a true business, and being good friends with your editors is kind of an uncommon practice. And
Yeah, I know. She's like, oh yeah, they hired another editor, and it's like, so?
it's something that I know Hunter does with his team. He's good friends with his dude Nick. I mean, that's like their whole fucking team is a tight unit. And his other editor, I don't want to say his name, but he's fucking awesome. He's an absolute legend. In my opinion, $850 a video is a pretty solid fucking deal. If I had
Like,
to pay
never once in my life have I worked for a job, and then when they brought on somebody else who was like to do the same thing I did I get like threatened by it? Never once. You know what I mean? Because that's not how I look at it. I don't look at it as like, oh, they're trying to get rid of me. You know what I mean?
all of my editors $850 per video,
I don't know.
I would not have a functioning business at all. It just wouldn't work like that. There's too much expense elsewhere. It is at this point when she finally gets into a call with Hunter again, but she says that he only has a knack for wanting to talk to her when she's drunk.
For some reason, he has a knack for asking to call when I'm drunk, or like when I was drunk. Well, I was kind of drunk often, but yeah. I had been doing okay pretty much to being sober at this point because I was trying to get back on the wagon.
In that meeting, she tells Hunter that her computer is becoming more and more unreliable.
During that meeting, I tell them, because I had been having issues with my computer. It had been progressively getting more and more unstable.
From my perspective, if I went into a
Wait,
meeting
what?
with someone who I would start to consider as an unreliable member of the team, and they were drunk in that meeting, and they were telling me that their computer was unreliable,
Yeah.
it would not be a great way
No.
for them to instill confidence in
No.
their ability to get work done. It's tough, though. I do see both sides.
Yeah.
It is a business. There are deadlines. It is a real job. Real jobs, you have to actually...
That's tough because, you know, if I was in Hunter's shoes and then this girl who's getting drunk a lot saying, oh, my computer's struggling, it's like, okay, now it just seems like the excuses are piling on, you know?
work. As an owner of a business, you have to be able to rely on your team to hit deadlines. You have to be able to rely on these people and have confidence in them. If you don't have confidence in them, then you might as well not have them as part of your team. In spite of that, Breezy's not making buku bucks. She maybe doesn't have the ability to afford a new $3,000-$4,000 editing rig to get her work done effectively. It's a tough spot.
She might not need an entire new rig, though. She might just need a new GPU or something, so...
tools for your business. It is a business at the end of the day. No one's going to hold your hand. She's not technically an employee. She's a contractor. And we're kind of blurring the lines of sort of real world levels of responsibility here. She then gives an example of working on a video the day before that it's due. And there's 18 minutes of finished video when her PC suddenly blue screens and wipes out 12 of those minutes.
No.
Lo and behold, the night before, or no, not even the night before, 3 p.m. the day before they need it for an upload. My computer
That's basically the night before, but okay.
And wipes out 12 of those 18 polished minutes. So I'm back down to like 6 polished minutes of worth of footage, and I could not recover the rest.
A lot of magic
That
seems to
sucks.
happen with PCs
How
and
does that
editing
happen?
and losing progress. There's a lot of magic that goes on. I don't know. I was an editor, by the way, before I was a successful YouTuber, and I know the excuses. I know them very well. Sometimes I can smell a little bullshit cooking up. But the old blue screen PC losing 75% of all your fucking progress.
Before he finishes, I'm gonna say it doesn't sound likely. It sounds unlikely. It sounds unlikely, but I mean, I don't know. Let's see.
Just hit Control S and then use Dropbox. It's not that hard. They make systems that are pretty easy to avoid problems like that. I don't know, maybe that's saying too much. But it's a fucking dance, though. It's a balancing act. You have to be able to be a good person. You have to have people who actually want to fucking work for you. Because if not, then what's the fuck's the point of even having a job? This shit's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be fun to work for YouTubers. It's supposed to be fun to be a YouTuber. And it's a tough balancing act from all sides. Any YouTuber who says they are perfect at it and they have a perfect team is fucking lying. Like, that's just not
Yeah.
true. It's very complicated.
It sounds like that could very well be the case. Don't know. It just seems unlikely that you'd just... Like, okay, your computer crashes. Yeah, that happens. But to lose... most of the video is I just don't understand how that could happen. That doesn't seem
complicated, and it's very important to not specifically take a side on this because there are
there's no logical explanation for it to happen.
many moving parts and there's so many facets. So she's missing deadlines, but she's missing deadlines on videos, attending meetings drunk, asking for raises, and also in her video
Drunk, my PC's broken, can I get more money? It's not a good look.
to having a decrease in work ethic stemming from the feeling of isolation. So these are all kind of bad things. And then not to mention the crashed, corrupted computer, 2/3 of it gone stuff, and now asking for more money to fix her broken computer.
A day before this, I had a meeting with Papa Meat and told him also about my computer issue.
Okay,
which was,
calling him Papa Meat is wild.
again, ignored. It also went into like the topic where I'm trying to say like, hey, pay me more because I need also money to fix my computer so I can continue doing this.
And then also the fact that she let them know to scale back the amount of work that they're giving her because she wants to go back to school.
I also was trying to be a little bit more responsible and say, hey,
She wants more money, but also wants to work less. I mean, I feel that. Same. But you know, from a boss's point of view, that's not a good look.
hey, like next you know, after January, I'm gonna try to go back to school, so let's not send me as much footage. And I want to do one video every 2 weeks instead of one video every week. Just so that they're not, like, I'm not over-promising and under-delivering.
So,
Okay,
obvious.
so she was making $850 a week. That's not great.
I really need a vacuum.
Right now? Can you wait till tomorrow?
All my flowers are fucking dusty and shit.
What any sane person does is send an angry message. That's what Nick did. Allegedly. Nick sent an angry message to her, which she said,
Oh, I got a file right here.
Mobile games are going big. Play
as was guilt tripping her for days.
Basically, then I get an angry message from Nick, and he's just like, he's trying to guilt trip me for fucking days about my computer crashing. They're like, we gave you this footage before Thanksgiving. It's not done. This shouldn't be an issue at night now. I'm like, dude, it's out of my control in every conceivable way. My computer was a blue screen.
Or allegedly, because we don't get to see the message at all. There's no proof of that. But apparently Nick sent her an angry message and was guilt tripping her for days. And he also was yelling, because that's what she says he was doing.
How is the message gone too? Like, when do you ever delete messages from your phone? Like, never? So
he was yelling. She said that they then argued and she really enjoyed working with Nick, but they had no empathy for her situation whatsoever.
There was like an argument back and forth between me and Nick, and it was just so weird how thin this line was between, like, Nick was a guy I really enjoyed working with to, like, holy crap, they have no empathy whatsoever, and suddenly I'm
not saying she's lying, but it's hard to believe.
Person.
She then talks about the difference in treatment that she got from her start on the team. They were very stoked to have her there and have her on the team and be a part of everything, to then going to treatment that she would consider abusive.
I don't know why there was this sudden shift. I don't think that any of the events leading up to it warranted this treatment. And I would call it pretty, in ways it was abusive.
They told her that her work ethic wasn't great. She then refuted it and said that her fiance has seen her work 12 hours a day all week to get those videos out.
They claimed my work ethic was not great. When I told my fiance that, she said she was furious, because she said, you have stayed up like many nights. I have seen you edit for hours and hours. You've had put in 12-hour days all week.
I don't like when people do that. I don't like when people say, oh, well, this person said that I'm good. Well, I don't care what you say this person said. Let me hear this person say it. Yeah, I don't like when people do that. Oh, well, just ask him. I hate that.
For videos, and they're trying to sit here and tell you that your work ethic is not good.
Once again, you're probably noticing a just substantial lack of, like, proof of anything that's being said here. She then says after that a younger, less talented editor started doing videos.
And this young 20...
And they very well likely might be paying him less, too. He's less talented, younger. They're probably paying him less.
Something-year-olds comes in, and the videos aren't nearly up to, like, my level of quality, which I'm not trying to insult anybody for that. Like, if someone's still learning their editing skills and stuff, like, that's fine. But it just sucked. It just fucking sucked. Like, that was my replacement.
Hunter stopped communicating with her, and she was now essentially fired.
I never heard anything from Papa Me, so that was basically me getting fired.
Wow, this has evolved from a situation in which I'm trying to be as empathetic and sympathetic as possible to, like, this person kind of,
and he's been giving her fair points, and you know, he's being fair.
Needs a reality check. Maybe Hunter's a bad boss. Maybe he's a fucking asshole. Maybe Nick did send her an angry message or whatever. But empathy is not going to solve these issues.
Yeah.
All right? You have to be able to take responsibility at some point in an hour and a half of speaking. By the way, the younger, less talented editor is certainly not less talented. Definitely younger, but for sure not less talented. Like, what the fuck is that just jab for no reason? She then alleges that they paid her for videos that she was supposed to do but never did as hush money without having her sign an NDA.
After I'm fired, they said, we're gonna pay you for, like, a few videos that you were supposed to edit that you can't now, which was kind of a large sum of money up front. And all I could think of was
so at the beginning of the video, he said that Hunter hasn't released a statement. So no.
hush money. Like, they didn't even have me sign an NDA or anything. They just gave it to me, and they're like, oh.
What's the point of having anyone who's like editing, especially on YouTube nowadays? Like, I have some employees that have signed NDAs. If something bad happens, they're gonna say it anyways. Like, this is YouTube. Being canceled is like a thing. I mean, you're not gonna sue someone, and that makes it look worse unless they're just making shit up. All this does seem quite hard to prove. What do you guys think so far, by the way? Like, what is realistic? I kind of feel bad for Miss Breezy, in all honesty. I sort of feel bad. Miss Breezy then says that she's gone back to working on ski lifts, which pay more than being an editor for the Papa Meat channel.
I am going back to school, and I'm going back to working a position as a lifty, which is a ski lift operator. Which, by the way, I want to tell you guys, a ski lift operator, which is like the best job I think I've ever worked. That's why I'm going back. It was so much fun. It's like a family. Anyway, a ski lift operator gets paid more than a Papa Meat editor.
That's fair. Ski lifts sound complicated. Now,
That's not fair. That is not fair. I doubt operating a ski lift is hard. It's probably a few buttons, making sure it's running properly. It's not that I doubt it's hard.
to something disappointing.
So to do that and make more than editing videos for a very well-known YouTube channel is actually crazy.
That there are text conversations, and then even says, let me see if I can pull it up.
Yeah, no, a lot of these are text conversations. Let me see if I can pull up. I can access pretty much everything, unless they deleted anything that I can access it. Yeah.
And then she says I can access everything unless they deleted something, but like doesn't pull anything up. And I feel as though the decision to make this a live stream was an absolute terrible decision. This doesn't make sense.
Well,
it seems very emotional, and there's nothing to prove any of this, and this is a lot of just sort of slander for someone who I have a lot of character references as being a great guy, and the team and the people who work on his team love working for him and working with him. This just seems bad. I mean, earlier in the video when she was talking about her computer issues, she talks about having all the proof in the world to show that the computer was in fact having issues, but we don't see any of it.
I have pictures, I have videos of me trying to troubleshoot it. I have all the proof in the world showing, like, yes, my computer was having fucking issues.
These are pretty
okay, but fix it. Fix it. It's you need it for your job, so you're an independent contractor. I mean, I hate to be like, you know, fix your computer. That's how you make money. Get it fixed.
Serious allegations that we're just expecting.
Yeah, so this guy knows Hunter personally. Yeah, I don't know to what extent, but
someone at their word for. There's no validation here. It makes no sense. It's pretty much the extent of everything that she had to say with her experience working for Papa Meat. The VOD got taken down, or live stream got taken down because the fucking thumbnail was her pointing a gun at her head, which is terrible. Early in the video, she says it's not a real gun, but it doesn't matter. It's a YouTube video on YouTube.
I was getting my prop gun ready to go.
So this whole thing is a public video that went out and got removed because
she is. I mean, and if you go live and can't show anything to back it, yeah, I know, weird, and it does sound a lot like I'm the victim. That's what you're hearing a lot from her.
She just put a gun to her
Once again, I'm not saying she's lying, but that's just what it sounds like.
head or something like that. Tom Dark made a video on it. This is like the first sort of response video to this. And if you know Turkey Tom,
I don't.
he's not one
I
to
do.
shy away from sharing his thoughts and opinions about people personally. He made a lot of jabs at Bree, and some people in his comments are calling him transphobic. He's very critical of her and the video, which I completely understand.
You have 1 million subscribers who can't afford therapy? Where's your money going? How many total channel views does this person have? 340 million channel views. I mean, she's in like a decently nice apartment.
Yeah. So she has a YouTube channel too, where she's getting YouTube views, and she's an editor. So her YouTube is all extra money on top of the $850 per video. Yeah, she can afford to fix her computer.
Tom also says that she just
Or get
got
a new
her
one.
feelings hurt
100%.
Stop overpaying for sunglasses. It's crazy that the most expensive thing you're wearing.
Things that happen.
She has a YouTube channel with nearly 1 million subscribers, and she edits. Bro, she can afford to fix her computer. Computers are not that expensive.
Outside of work, and says that they're not pertinent to the situation.
This is very just like my feelings are hurt because of things that happened to me outside of MeatCanyon. I feel bad for her for getting, but I just don't understand why this is pertinent at all to this issue.
Definitely understand where he's coming from, but I do disagree. I think that things that happen outside of work are fairly pertinent because it affects your work. For example, there are things that have happened to all of the people on my team that have massively affected the way that they work in the company, and I've given people a month off before, and it's been, you know, tough for everyone involved. But at the end of the day, it's still important. These are people, right? They're not just numbers, or at least that's what I keep telling myself. I do disagree, though.
True.
Genuinely. Tom also raises the very important and based in red-pilled question of how likely is it that she's going to find editing work in the future when the last guy that paid her for editing, she's just shit-talking over a bunch of nonsense and not providing any sort of real evidence or anything like that.
Do you think someone's gonna hire you again after you do this? After the last guy who edited for you, or sorry, the last guy who paid you to edit, like you just go out and talk him after you don't do the work and he thinks it's time for you to go? Yeah, hire her. Yeah, good idea.
That's a good point. Now that she posted this video, how is she ever gonna get another job editing when this is the video she posted? Good point.
She's spilling the proverbial beans, and there isn't a lot of valid criticism here. And in regard to the more severe allegations, there is absolutely zero proof and validation to any of it. He's a bit unpersonal in his criticism, and he wraps it up calling her entitled and saying that if she doesn't like how businesses are run, she can go be homeless.
Obviously,
that's okay, bro. That's you went too far there.
They're going to want to give you less work because they don't have an expectation that you're going to meet things, especially if there's other editors on the team who are doing the work properly and meeting expectations. Obviously, they're going to go for them instead of you. The way you make more money is decrease expenses, maximize profits. And if you're part of them not being able to maximize profits, they're going to want to cut you out of that equation. And you can complain about that all you want, but that's just business. And if you don't want to be involved in businesses, then go be homeless, I guess, or something.
Okay, that's a little far.
One way to do it. For sure, dude. So then Miss Breezy responded to all of this just today. This happened just today, and I'm glad I waited to make this video because her response is interesting.
I know that I am guilty of being self-righteous, you know, sometimes when it's arguments in internet.
She's talking over Subway Surfer gameplay?
Or this or that, but when it comes to like really having to sit down and analyze the situation from different perspectives, I have no problem with being honest about having fucked up or being in the wrong here.
She says she didn't have malicious intent, and then says that she was just venting because people have asked
fair
why
enough
she was fired.
if that's the case.
I don't want you guys to approach this thinking that I had any malicious intent or was really trying to like ruin anybody's career, because in the stream I did say I'm just ventilating. This is a stream being done in service of comments that I had received on YouTube and Instagram asking why I was let go.
Now, that, in my opinion, is yet another bad faith thing. How could you possibly think that making a video where you're holding a gun to your head and talking about why you had a terrible experience working with a very large YouTuber as their editor, how you can possibly think that that's just venting because people asked why she was...
I mean, maybe she was just venting. I mean... Maybe she was just venting. I don't know. But if she claims like, oh, I did mess up, I've said some things I shouldn't have in my emotions, then okay. But maybe she was just venting. You can't.
Fired? That's not like bad faith or malicious intent? What? Of course. You're trying to start drama. Like, that's literally what you're doing. It may not be malicious, but it certainly isn't coming from a place of understanding. Let's just leave it at that. She does admit that it was all her side that she was sharing, and they had every right to fire her, but she got emotional when they weren't communicating with her.
I tried to make it
understandable
clear that this is coming straight from my side, in that from a business perspective, they had every right to fire me. But there was an emotional factor to it, like a business ethics thing that was never communicated to me, and I was only left to stew in my emotions and the mystery.
That's not right. To just stop hitting her up, just say, hey, I'm sorry, we don't. If anything, just say, hey, you're going through what you're going through. We're going to give you some time, whatever.
Now this is starting to make more sense. Probably should have said this in the very beginning. She admits the stream is irresponsible, only covering her perspective and then making it public.
I will admit that it was irresponsible for me to leave that public, for me to make it public in the first place, only having really covered my perspective and not really having communicated those opposing viewpoints as thoroughly and as clearly as I should have.
Yes, I think irresponsible is one word, malicious is another word, probably somewhere between irresponsible and malicious, because it's not going to have any sort of positive outcome when you do something like this. She then provided an actual screenshot for the first time of DMs with MeatCanyon, in which he's just being an incredibly nice guy. which this is the only experience I have with him, to be honest, as well. So this is cool, you know. This is the only screenshot, by the way, we've ever seen from her. To me, it's disappointing that she's standing by all the feelings that she shared in her original stream, but when she's responding to the general public sentiment, which is negative in regard to her exposing Papa Meat's channel and team, she actually had the opportunity to show the way that she felt and why she was standing by her feelings, and has the screenshot. And it's ironically like something that makes Hunter look like a swell dude willing to work within her means. This doesn't make any sense. It's pretty hypocritical. It's ironic. There's a total refusal to support claims, or simply an inability to do so, and then a lot of backtracking when there's people who are not agreeing with her. I don't understand. It feels very irresponsible. She threw around the word abuse in regard to a work environment of someone who I've worked with professionally and have experienced none of that, and have friends who actively work with her who experience
but that doesn't mean anything. Just because you haven't experienced it, that doesn't mean anything.
That I know a bunch of YouTubers who are actually abusive in their fucking environment, and that's not that cool.
Name them.
And I'm not saying like criticism or, you know, realism, or, you know, you don't have to go above and beyond and be nice as fuck like Hunter. There are YouTubers who are just bad people. It seems like, and Hunter's not one of them. So anyways, we'll get into that though. But at the end of the day, I think that this is incredibly irresponsible. I think that's what it boils down to. I don't necessarily believe that it is malicious. I do think that it is in bad faith. She claims that she's not active on YouTube and doesn't want to use this to make her relevant again. If she did, what a fucking bad idea that would be. So where do we land, fellas, boys and girls? MeatCanyon, from all experiences I've had working with him, is an incredible human being. He is very nice, and I am very positive and actually know that he is not enjoying.
What if MeatCanyon paid him to make this video? $850.
Hearing that this is how someone felt about their experience working with him. I know factually that he's not happy about that, and he's not vindictive. He's not a vindictive guy. He's a nice guy. So however untrue or true the things said about his team are, it's got to be a fucking bummer to just kind of be lied about and then just say, trust me, bro. I have to say, I would be very rude in my response if I was Hunter. It sucks. I mean, basically